What's up, you guys? And oh my god, this was a total shit show. This was everything I wanted it to be and more. It was literally the juiciest episode I've ever seen of Teen Mom, period. And definitely the juiciest reunion special I've ever seen. So let's jump right into this tea. Oh my gosh. So it starts off right where it left off last week with Brianna's sister Brittany telling Kale, "Don't dismiss me, bitch, because I'm telling you right now, you don't know who the fuck you fucking with." It starts off right there, and it starts with Kale saying, "Okay, bye, Brittany, bye, Brittany," and then Brittany gets escorted out of the room. When she gets, to her room and she's calmed down and she's talking to the producers, she says that, she's sorry. Fast forward, Kale's friend goes into Brianna's dressing room, and Brianna's in there with one of her friends, and she basically checked Brianna and said, "What's up?" Like, everybody, all three of y'all ganged up on Kale. I'm not having it. What a friend would do. I don't think that Kale sent her in there, because I know if I was visibly upset, my friends would come to my aid and be like, "Who did it?" So I don't think that Kale sent her friend in there to say anything to Brianna, but her friend went of her own free will. Brianna's like, nobody's ganging up on her. Nobody's trying to jump her or nothing like that. And, Kale friend says, "Okay, well, keep it that way," or something to that, liking. And she walks out. I kid you not. She's down the hallway, you guys. She's almost all the way back to Kale's room. And Brianna says, "Don't be disrespectful, because I'll slap the shit out of you." When she's walking away almost all the way down the hallway. So Kale's friend turns around and she says, "Why are you talking, crap while I'm walking away? Say it now," and then she actually gets almost all the way up into Brianna's face, and she's like, "Well, slap me then," because Brianna just kept saying it over and over again. "I'll slap you. I'll slap you." Now, I don't even know why she was saying that while she was holding her child, because this woman basically challenged her to a duel when she's holding her child. So, this gets diffused, and then Brianna is ranting and raving, and I guess Brittany is hearing all this commotion from her dressing room, and she's like, "I know ain't nobody about to try to fight my sister with her kids in the room." So she goes down the hallway to try to get to Kale's friend. They have locked themselves in the dressing room. Kale and her friend have locked themselves in the dressing room. Kale says that she does not have time for this Jerry Springer shit. And Brittany is like, "Tell that redheaded B to come out. Tell that B to come out. I'll beat her up, yada, yada, just, pretty much doing the most. At this point, I feel like maybe Brittany did have a reason for doing this, because her kids were in that room. So even though Brianna started first and saying she would slap the S out of that girl, it was definitely something about to go down. So I kind of feel where Brittany is coming from, but still, girl, no, like, for real. So after Brittany is done ranting and raving, of course, nothing happens to anybody, because Kale and her friend do not come back out of the dressing room. They lock themselves in the dressing room for what seems to be almost the remainder of the rest of the day. And Brittany apologizes once again to MTV and says, "Please don't kick me and my sister off of the show." Now, that probably was a joke, but it probably has some truthfulness in it somewhere, because, y'all are still on a trial basis with Teen Mom 2. So act right, act accordingly. And Brittany promised that she would act right and accordingly. And Brianna did too. But Brianna turned up once again, which I'll get to later in my commentary, how she showed her ass again. So finally, Javi arrives on the scene with the gangsta lean, talking about, "Take me straight to Bree's room," as if he's going to mediate any freaking thing. And as soon as he got there, Bree was so rude and nasty to him. And she's like, "What? I'm fine. He's like, "I just want to make sure you're good." And she's like, "I'm good. It's your ex. Blah, 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 blah." And he's like, "Okay, well, let me go talk to Kale." And she's like, "No, we're we're going to go talk to Kail. He's like, well, let me go and talk to her first, to try to, smooth things out. She's like, no, I'm going with you. Point blank, period. I'm going with you. I don't know why, she did not have this energy when she was actually in front of Kail. But, whatever. I'm not even going to speculate. So finally, Javi's like, okay, whatever. And they go knock on Kail's door and she answers. And at first, she's kind of compliant. She's like, okay, I'll talk to you guys off camera. Immediately, Brianna's like, no. Why you want to do it off camera? Do it on camera. Do it on camera. She's like, I don't want the cameras rolling while we, go over this sensitive stuff. And she's like, no, 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 blah, 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 blah. Then Kail once again says, this is like Jerry Springer. Brianna says, you started all of this. Kail says, how did I start all this when you were telling me that I was annoying over and over and over again? She's like, because you are annoying. At this point, Brianna is being extremely combative, and I have reason to believe that she's being this combative because Brittany is right down the hallway, and if things get too haywire, her sister is going to jump on Kail. Okay, let's be honest. Brianna is not bout it. I said this in my previous videos. There is nothing bout it, or gutta, or anything about Brianna. You can clearly look at this girl and tell that she's the weak link of the entire family. Her mama got more balls, okay? So then Kail was just like, no, have a good day. I'm not with all this. You're not about to turn up on me again. You're not about to be combative with me again. And she closed the door on Brianna and Javi. And Javi's sitting there with this stupid grin on his face like he always have. Y'all know this half grin. He even had it when he was crying over Kail, saying that he wants to come home to somebody every night. That half smile irks me to death. Okay, let's move on. Moving things over to Janelle, which I always hate to do. Her and her entire family are being a clusterfuck of annoying as always. She's using her kids as pawns. Go get your brother, Kaiser. Go get your brother, Jace. And Nathan isn't making it any better because he's feeding into the use your kid as a pawn thing that Janelle likes to do. So he's not being any better. He's like, no, you're not going to see your mother. This is my weekend. He finally gives in because, little kids just want to see their mom or go follow behind their brother or do whatever's popping at the time. Not only that, but why does Nathan look like Juan Decimo popping out of his shirt in every scene? Like, he always has on a ripped up, ribbed tank top. Like, he just came back from lifting 400 weights. I mean, seriously, he looks like Juan Decimo or, Mr. Krabs. No, who was that? It wasn't Mr. Krabs. It was, Larry the lifeguard. Okay? But anyway, we switch things back over to Brianna land where Devoin has just arrived. And Bree's being dramatic, saying that she doesn't want to have any contact with him because she's already been through so much drama today before the reunion started. So Brianna's mom and sister go into Devoin's room and have a heart-to-heart with him. They tell him that they are happy that he's here. They're glad that he's okay. And they both start crying and getting really emotional, which tells me that they actually have a relationship with Devoin. It's kind of a weird relationship because this is not the first time that I've seen Brianna take up for Devoin. I clearly remember Brianna taking up for Devoin on Teen Mom 3 and telling Brianna that she was wrong and crying. I definitely remember that. So I don't know what kind of weird relationship dynamic they have where Brianna just cannot stand Devoin, and it honestly seems like Brianna's mom and sister really love Devoin. Like, honestly. So this was my favorite scene of the night because I was just thinking it was raw, it was emotional, and it was real. Like, I don't think that you could fake this. Now, maybe they did a scene with Devoin to get more scenes, period. I don't know. But it did seem real and genuine. So, moving on, we are back to Janelle and her clusterfuck of what the fuck. I don't even understand. So Janelle is having her time. She's sitting down with Dr. Drew, and meanwhile, her husband David is going ape shit bananas, complaining that Drew's asking her weird questions, and he just keeps on saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get leave. I'm gonna drag her off that stage. We're gone." And I was just sitting there like, So while Janelle's on stage trying to put all the blame on Nathan and saying that Nathan is the abuser, as well as Doris, the thing that I think that got David really upset is when Dr. Drew said that Janelle has a thing for aggressive men or something like that. And then David was just like, he said something about, "I'm gonna smack the something out this son bitch." Something really country. It was hilarious.
We're leaving when she gets off the stage.
The ones you feel the lightning bolts for are the guys that are going to be aggressive.
I'm gonna freak out on this son bitch.
So sure enough, David, jumps on stage, grabs Janelle, says, "We're leaving." She's like, "Why?" He's like, "I'll tell you in the car." He storms out of there quicker than I don't know what. So with about 10 producers behind them, David and Janelle leave the scene with the gangster lean, being all dramatic with this dramatic behind exit, just like they did last season and 2 seasons ago and 3 seasons ago. So moving on again to Brianna. So Javi and his friend Carlos are in the room turning up, doing shots, and Bri comes in like, "Can I get one?" And they immediately start talking about what just happened with Kail, because it's all they can talk about, clearly, because they're filming. And she's like, she still doesn't know what happened, but she definitely knows what happened. You turned up on her, girl, because you thought your sister was gonna jump. That's what happened. But I'm gonna leave Brianna alone. Ain't no more Brianna slander coming out my mouth. So by this time, as you guys can tell, the producers are having a hard daggone day. They are stretched thin everywhere around that building. So for some reason, Kail demands this emergency meeting with her, Leah, and Chelsea, and they say that they don't want to film with Brianna because she's violent, and they don't want to film with Janelle. But honestly, Kail was the only one really doing the talking. I just feel like Chelsea and Leah were there for emotional support. So Kail is like, yeah, we all three need to team together. And last night, Brianna made Leah cry. We don't need that kind of drama around us. If the three of us band together, we can get her kicked off the show and yada, 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 yada. I didn't like it because Brianna has done nothing to the rest of these girls, to be honest. Making Leah cry, that was just a misunderstanding. But she hasn't done anything to Chelsea. So why is Chelsea in there? You know what I'm saying? I thought it was kind of... And clearly the producers was like, "Kail, slow your roll." Like, they put her in her place really fast. They was like, "Let's just get through filming today, okay? We'll worry about next season when next season gets here. We can't solve all these issues in one day." And Kail's pouting and saying she's not going out there. And he's like, "Look, just go out there for 30 seconds so Dr. Drew can introduce y'all." Like, by this time, you can see that the producer's just tired of the shenanigans. He's tired of the bull. So boom, you guys, they film the remainder of the show. And this is where everything went to hell. This right here, I've never seen Janelle act this bad. I've never seen Janelle show her ass this bad. So this is a whole lot to even ingest. So I have to put some clips in or y'all won't even understand where I'm coming from. So this clip right here is, okay, everything is over. People are packing up, about to go home. Janelle goes by Nathan's dressing room and just happens to see Nathan's girlfriend give her mother Barb a hug. She walks down the hallway taunting Nathan's girlfriend, saying, "Oh, I thought you didn't want to be on camera. I thought you didn't want to be on camera, but you on camera hugging my mom." Nathan's girlfriend like, "Janelle, what's the problem? Your mom asked me for a hug. I gave her a hug." And she's like, "I have turmoil with my mother. Don't you be hugging my mother." And she's like, "I don't care about you, Janelle. I don't care about you. I can hug whomever. And it's not my fault that you don't have a relationship with your mom." So Janelle decides to be a petty boots and say that she's not leaving the room until her son has supervision, saying that Nathan's girlfriend is not supervision and Nathan cannot be alone with Kaiser, so he made Nathan go get Doris. It was just a mess. She was following behind them, heavy on their steps, saying, "Go get your mom. You can't be alone with Kaiser. Give me my son. Give me my son." And he's like, "This is my weekend." They're trying to get away from Janelle, but Janelle is behind them, hammering them, fussing them out or whatever. Then she reaches Nathan's mother, Doris, and Doris is just like, "Janelle, stop this. Like, just cool out." And Janelle's like, "Oh, so now you want to turn up on me too?" So then she gets on the phone to call David. Says, "David, come to me because Nathan is being extremely disrespectful." And I'm sitting there like, girl, you literally just started all of this being petty for no reason at all. And then you turned on Doris in the last second and saying that Doris was trying to turn up on you too, which is Nathan's mom. While she's with Doris, she admits that she's upset because her mom wants nothing to do with her, but then her mom goes and hangs out with Nathan's girlfriend. What? And then, and then she starts crying. And I'm like, hold up, but ain't you the one that won't talk to Barb? So then David busts on the scene with the gangster lean, acting, he was acting calm at first. I'm not even gonna lie. He was like telling Janelle, "Let's just go to the car. Let's just go to the car." Janelle still, no, being petty 100%. She literally made a conflict out of absolutely nothing. I cannot believe this girl right now. So Janelle is like, she wants to sit here and hug my mom. And David is looking at her kind of confused, and he's like, "Let's just go get in the truck. Let's go." She then starts laying in on Doris and saying, "You don't need to speak to my mother anymore, Doris, because whatever we have going on is between me and my mother." So at this point, she's attacking everybody in the daggone room. David's like, "Babe, let's just go. Let's just go." And she's like, "Well, I need to go say goodbye to Kaiser. I need to go say goodbye to my son so he's not traumatized by what just happened." Girl, what? You the one that did everything. I'm so confused with her narcissist behind behavior. Out of nowhere, David decides to turn up and join the hate festivities, and he starts yelling at Doris, and he's like, "This is all your fault." And she's like, "What?" She's like, "I've had about enough of you, buddy." And then Nathan comes out of the room like, "Yo, you want to fight?" Like, what's up? Like, I cannot make this up, you guys. It was literally the biggest shit show in the world. Like, Nathan literally popped out of the room like Juan Dissimo talking about some, oh, David, so what's up? You want to fight? Because I'm right here. Meanwhile, Janelle is screaming, "My son does not need to be around this," and blaming everything on Doris and Nathan. At this point, everybody is throwing out insults, and Doris says that they all need to take drug tests, and then Nathan is like, "Yeah, take a drug test," and then David is like, "Let's take a drug test on you." And I mean, they just throwing out the most countryest insults. Listen, guys, I'm embarrassed to say that Janelle is where I'm from in North Carolina, because we don't act like this, we don't treat our moms like this, and we don't let dudes control us like this. Get it together, okay? So Janelle at this point is feeling defeated because David wanted her to go to the car instead of staying, calling the police, or some old crap like that. So they're walking to the car, and she stops by Barbara's dressing room to give her an earful as well. She peeks in and sees that Barbara is talking to, I think it's one of the producers or something like that. To be honest, I'm not really sure who Barbara was talking to. Janelle later said it was her friend. So she's like, "What are you guys talking about?" And before the friend could even answer, she's like, "No, I want to know what the F you are in here talking to my friend about, blase, blase." Barbara's like, "You don't even want anything to do with me, so why are you at my dressing room right now?" Janelle's like, talking to Barb at this point, she's like, "You're just mad because I don't speak to you." Which is a conflicting story because she just was saying how much she missed her mom down the hallway and saying that her mom don't want nothing to do with her. Okay, so Janelle goes down the hall and says, "You're just mad because I won't speak to you." Barb gets up. She's like, "You effing B, you effing bitch, you effing B." or so-and-so. I can't even remember, y'all. I'm not even gonna flex, but I remember she got up like, you bitch, you are so changed. You are so changed. I don't know who you are anymore. You never acted like this until you got with David, and you acted better when you was on drugs. Flatline, flatline, flatline. Your mama gotta say, you acted better when you were hot on drugs. Ciao. David chimes in with the insults and was like, F you, Barbara. You're just mad because Janelle is now taking up for herself. Then Barbara loses it again. F you, David. F you, David. Get him out of my dressing room. Get him out of my dressing room. Barb is so upset. Like, I've seen Barb mad before, but this wasn't no Kiefer. You're smoking pot with Kiefer. It wasn't that type of mad. It was a next level type mad that Barbara was. And I really feel bad for her. But you guys, that is the last noteworthy moment that happened. Thank God, because this review is way longer than I wanted it to be. Way longer. As always, please leave comments. And thank you for watching.